Hey everybody, Erica Serwin here from Pink Buckaroo Designs. I'm going to show you how to make this long and skinny gift box that holds a double Snicker trees, yummy. I'm using the pine tree trimmings this week. This is a bundle. It's got a great smaller die set, which makes the set more affordable. And this is actually also designed for a shaker card. We have shaker domes that fit this die. So if you're looking for ideas for that, check out my next video because I have a shaker card too. All right, well, let's get started. Let's make our box first. I'm using Very Vanilla because I am using the paper from the North Pole Delivery pack, and it has basic white and vanilla in it, which I find interesting, but this side has vanilla, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, you need a piece that is 6 by 8 1/4. Let's do the long side first. 3/4 and 7 1/2. Then on the short side, 3/4, 2 3/4, 3 1/2, and 5 1/2. Really just a simple box. We're gonna hold it closed with the ribbon. We're not gonna make a lip that tucks in. We're just gonna hold the top closed with the ribbon. Our shiny, I call it two-sided, shiny, real red ribbon. All right, with your bone folder, burnish those lines. It's a mirror image on the top and the bottom, and then over here you've got a 1/2 inch section at the very end where we scored. So let's see, I'm gonna get my smaller scissors. With that 1/2 inch section on the right, we're gonna trim off that rectangle and that rectangle. And then we're just gonna snip. This is a good box if you're gonna make a bunch at the holiday season. It's not terribly difficult, not a lot of trimming or, you know, crazy things that you have to do. All we're gonna do, and you know, I think I've got my Stamp and Seal Plus here. I'm gonna put Stamp and Seal Plus right here on that 1/2 inch section, fold it over, and then fold over. We wanna make sure we get those edges lined up on the opposite side, okay? So you fold it and then it's sealed. Now we're gonna seal one end, fold the sides. I like where that seal is to be on the back side. So turn that over, fold in the sides, then the back, and last you wanna do that front edge so that you continue with your rounded edges. Rounded, rounded, rounded. Okay, now get your designer series paper and we'll put that on the front. The measurements for this box will be on a free PDF on my blog today. This is part of my Facebook Friday project. So if you're looking for ideas, I've got 3 of them, 3 videos and a free PDF. All right, slide that in, sides, back, and front. Then you can seal it if you want, but I always like to leave it unsealed so when the recipient opens it, they don't have to tear it open, because I know some people like to save our pretty boxes. That way they can save it. All right, when you look at your ribbon, you'll see one side is a matte finish and one side is just shiny finish. So I like for the shiny side to be out. I put a little bit of adhesive just to hold my ribbon in place down there. And we're gonna tie this like that. And I'm kind of turning the ribbon as I go to get that shiny side out. So here, I'm actually gonna flip it out so that the shiny side shows, you know, frontward, outward. All right, trim those, and there's your box. Pretty, right? All right, now let's make our tag. We're gonna stamp the trees, both in garden green, and I'm gonna use the more solid tree in garden green on garden green cardstock. And I have found that it's a shallow stamp and I get ink right there. So make sure that you just tap, 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 and then push it down solidly. Don't like push, push, push it, because otherwise that ink will get on there. If you watch my previous video, you'll see me do exactly that. All right, now this one, we're gonna stamp on Very Vanilla cardstock. There we go. And let's get our cut and emboss machine. It uses, they both use the same die, which is that open tree. This is a great little die because if you don't feel like stamping, you can also just cut it right out of designer series paper or cardstock, and everybody will know what it is, even if you don't stamp it. It's a good, just a solid tree form. There's a sentiment in the stamp set that will stamp right down the center of it easily, so you can use it that way too. All right, there we go. Now I am using my Fright Night dies. I love these two shapes. There's one smaller that nests right inside there. And yes, it's a Halloween set, but I love this label. It's perfect for a lot of things. All right, I'm gonna put this one right here, and I'm gonna put this one overlapping. Now for our sentiment, we're gonna heat emboss. Let me get all of my goodies out of the corner over here. And I am using silver. I actually tried gold and it wasn't quite shiny enough for me. So I switched it and made it silver embossing powder instead. This is what I need right here. All right, I've got a real red stylish shape banner. Okay, Versamark, 'Tis the Season. There we go. This is part of the embossing additions kit. It also comes with that embossing buddy, this right here, which helps remove static. And my favorite are these reverse tweezers. So when you have something small like this, you can hold it. If you don't squeeze it, it'll hold on. Let's open this silver. The tray, you just sprinkle that in like that. Thump it a little bit. Get all the extras off. And then get your heat tool. And you know what I can see right here? I've got some right there. All right, and then get your heat tool, heat it up. And this silver is shiny and brilliant for the season of Christmas. I think it's really good. There we go. We're gonna stick that right in here, and I have pulled out my little tiny 1/8 of an inch circle punch. You know what I'm gonna do? Every time I try to eyeball it, I get it wrong. So I'm just gonna draw a tiny little dot in the center, and that way, no guessing. Okay, you know what? Before we attach that, let's get some rhinestones. Do I have my take your pick tool? Didn't I just use it? Here it is. And we'll just add. I've been going back to my basic rhinestones lately. I just love them. They are really affordable, and I mean, really anything you can use them on, anything. So don't forget about our good old basic rhinestones. Okay, picks up that silver embossing powder. All right, we're gonna take this. This is the hardest part of your project. It's getting the thread through the hole and tied onto the ribbon. All right, so I'm gonna take this. Let's see if I can keep this in the frame. I'm gonna slide it under the bow. Your take your pick tool is like your third hand. It really is just, you need it. Helps you with all the things. All right, and then we're just gonna tie that on. So once you get your bows perfect, your recipient, they don't have to mess it up. They just slide off the ribbon. Everything stays attached to the ribbon. They get their candy and they slide that ribbon right back onto their project. And you know what? I put the bow down a little bit originally. Let's see if I can slide it like that. All right, there we go. All right, now those Snickers, let's look at it again. Snicker trees are from Walmart, of course. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this project. Remember, there is a free PDF there on my blog that has the measurements and supply list, as well as 2 other pine tree trimmings projects. Happy stamping and Merry Christmas. Bye.